Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to our Dreamerspro short clips channel that we have linked in the comment section below. Let's get into today's show. Let's get into today's show. Now, was kind of just combing through the internet, and I came across a video from a channel I follow, Too Raw for Sports, and he made a show discussing Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, here's what's interesting. I had seen some posts about Giannis on Instagram because I follow him on Instagram, but the post I remember was a post about him cutting his hair. Now, the interesting thing about this is there was a post that he had made about disrespect and stuff like that, but I didn't pay much attention to it at the time. Like, I you know when you kind of see something, but you don't really process it in that moment, and you just kind of go on about your, like, you don't, it's only until later on when you kind of sit down like, oh, okay, that's what they were talking about. It was that thing. So I was watching this show today. He was talking about Giannis being disrespected by missing the all defensive selection. I was like, wait, what? So here's basically the story, the gist of all of this. The NBA released its all NBA defensive team. Giannis made all first all NBA team, and it would be absolutely ridiculous to leave one of the finalists for MVP off the first team. But anyway, he made all first team, and then they released their all defensive teams. And the funny thing is, what happened to all third defensive team? I still can't find that one. But anyway, they released their first all defensive team, second all defensive team. First all defensive team had Jaren Jackson Jr., Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, who was a teammate of Giannis Antetokounmpo, Evan Mobley, and Alex Caruso of the Chicago Bulls, former Laker. In the second team, they had Derek White, Draymond Green, OG Anunoby, Dylan Brooks, and Bam Adebayo. That was the second team. And then I went back to the Twitter post that Giannis put up, or the post that he put up. And on the post, it reads, "I'm tired of the disrespect. I'm coming." And you see an image of him kind of like looking introspectively, just kind of like thinking, right? And then I was like, oh, okay, now it all makes sense. Giannis feels disrespected. Let me just quickly run off some of Giannis's stats this season, because maybe some people forgot. This season, Giannis Antetokounmpo averaged, I believe, a career high 31 points per game. He got 11.8 rebounds, 5.7 assists. I'm just trying to get a hold of his other stats. He averaged in the regular season 0.8 blocks and 0.8 steals. Right, one of the best defensive players in the world. And Giannis obviously said that he felt disrespected by what these guys said. Now, I have a lot of thoughts on this Giannis situation, but before we get into it, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Giannis was brought up a certain way. His background, I think Giannis is one of these guys is brought up in kind of a culture that says, respect your elders, be respectful, these type of things. And you can see it in the way he talks. He's always very differential. He's always giving praise. I mean, there was a funny thing that he had on the show. I think Trevor Noah's former show, there was a comedian there hosting the show where he went on there and he refused to admit that, hey, I'm the best player in the world. He kept on saying LeBron is great, that Kevin Durant is great. He refused to say it. Refused to say it, right? And a lot of people, even the host was like, Giannis, stop being so damn humble. Stop being so humble. And it's okay for you to be arrogant from time to time. Here's the thing with Giannis. And I don't know if Giannis will ever see this video. I don't know if any of his brothers will see this video because I know Giannis's brothers on YouTube. Here's my thoughts and my advice. I think Giannis is a little bit too nice. I think Giannis is being respectful to the wrong people. What do I mean by that? Giannis is showing respect to disrespectful people. You see, disrespectful people deserve zero respect. People that carry themselves with dignity, those are the ones you show respect to. But if it's just a bunch of disrespectful jokers, I'm not showing you no respect because of how you carry yourself. You don't warrant it. You don't have the dignity in you to warrant respect. In the case of Giannis needs to have a more confident approach to the way he deals with people, the way he portrays himself, and the way he speaks. I understand Giannis is confident, but I think he's a little bit too humble. A little bit too humble. And the reason why sometimes humility can hurt you is that some people view you as being humble as a weakness. They feel like they can just kind of walk all over you. People are like this, believe it or not. What I've noticed is that there are lesser players in the NBA who haven't accomplished a fraction of what Giannis has accomplished, but have way bigger mouths. I'll give you guys a perfect example of this. Draymond Green. Draymond Green is a 4-time champion. He's a hell of a defensive player. He's nowhere near the player that Giannis is. Nowhere near the player that Giannis is, but his mouth, yeah. You would think the way Draymond talks, it's not a diss to him, but it's the reality. Draymond Green talks a lot. You would think the way that Draymond Green talks, you would think he's one of the top 10 players of all time, just by the way he talks. There are a lot of guys in the league that feel disrespected and that haven't done a damn thing, but yet they feel disrespected. A lot of players feel disrespected that really haven't accomplished anything on a team level, personal level, but they feel more disrespect than Giannis. They do. To me, I think Giannis needs to be a little bit more straightforward. He needs to check people a little bit more, the way he checked that reporter. Don't let people get away with it. Oh, I'm trying to be nice. And Giannis, you're in a different environment. You're in a different environment. You're in the States. You're in the States. In the States, people, and I'm saying this because I was born and raised in the States, people in the States don't respect people that are respectful and kind. They don't respect that. They respect force. They respect arrogance. They respect people that throw themselves in your face and that's what they respect. You can tell because you can tell by the people look up to. They respect arrogant, rude people. This is what they look up to, and they'll make excuses for it. Prime example of this is John Morant. John Morant got so many supporters because of his arrogance. And the irony is, Ja had not accomplished a damn thing in the NBA. But a lot of people love this bravado. They say, oh, he's confident. People respect that. Even if you haven't done anything to warrant that respect, they still do it. Giannis, you're in a different environment now. It's no longer about, oh, well, I'm going to be the humble guy. That don't work. Sometimes you got to put your foot on somebody's neck. And J. Cole told you this on his last album. Sometimes you got to let him know. They be thinking one thing, but you got to let him know. You see Kevin Durant running around telling people, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? LeBron and these other guys are talking about, you know who I am? Giannis needs to be like, yo, do you know who I am? I'm the best MFer in the world right now. Where's my respect? That's the attitude Giannis has to have. Because he's not dealing with, people that want to be nice. Nah, he's not. He's not. And I think Giannis needs to snap out of it. You can be that way with your internal family, your group, but you got to know how to switch it on and off. You got to know how to switch it on and off. I know this perfectly. I was raised by African parents, so I know how to deal with them, but when I'm dealing with people outside, you can't be nice to these people. What am I being nice to these people for? For what? You got to know how to switch it on and off. You got to literally have a switch. When you're dealing with wolves, behave like one. And when you're dealing with nice people, then you behave nicely to people. But this thing of, I want to take the high road, and there's no high road. There's only one road. There's only one road. This is the culture shock that Yao Ming experienced when he first came to the NBA. If you guys remember Yao Ming, I do. When Yao Ming came into the NBA, he was used to, we're all friends and this and this and this. And the culture shock for Yao was, before a game, he'll be up there chopping it up with a guy, laughing with him, joking with him. And then during the game, the guy would sit up there and try to dunk on him. And Yao was like, but I thought we were cool. And Yao couldn't understand. No, yeah, we're cool. But the minute we step between these lines, we ain't cool no more. We ain't buddy no more. And Giannis needs to understand that. That goes for the NBA players. That goes for the reporters. That goes for the fans. They're going to disrespect you because you allow them to. You allow them to. Look how much noise Joel Embiid has been making to become MVP all these other years. Look how much noise all these other guys are making. So to me, if I'm Giannis, you need to come into this season with a totally different disposition going into the season. Stop trying to be the nice guy. It will get you nowhere. Nowhere. People don't respect it in the States and in the NBA. They don't respect the nice guy. They don't. Born and raised, I can tell you that for free. They don't respect it. Men don't, women don't. Nobody does. Maybe if in your internal group you want to be respected, that's fantastic. But when you get into it, when you start dealing with it, that's why I like, he's like, yo, bro, what's wrong with you asking me this stupid question? What's wrong with you? And I love that. Because a lot of people didn't see that from Giannis. They haven't seen him. Good, get upset. Frown your face a little bit. Let him know what's ain't nothing sweet over here. Let him know that. You see guys like Montrezl Harrell and all of these guys running up on you, elbowing you. If they elbow you, elbow him back. What's going to happen? Nothing. If you fight, you fight. So what? Michael Jordan has fought before. Kobe Bryant has fought before. All of these guys, you're doing it not to show that you're a tough guy. You're doing it to let people know. If you try me, you will get a response. I'm not coming to you with that energy, but if you try me, you'll get it. If you push me, I'm going to push you back. If you hit me, if you snuff me, I'm going to snuff you. Simple. This is the most annoying thing about Giannis, and I support him. Stop being so nice. It's unnecessary. You're in the wrongest environment to be feeling like you need to be nice. These are my thoughts.